Once, not long ago, there was a boy who had the most magnificent and fanciest of lanterns. Everywhere the boy went, so did the fancy lantern, whether the boy wanted it to or not. James pauses in his story. Let me explain a little about how the fancy lantern came to be. Taking a deep breath, he tells the origin of the fancy lamps. So, one day I was going on an adventure in a world called Crazycraft with my Illuminati pet. As we explored the world, Illuminati gave me my very first lantern. Out of all the wondrous things it could have given me, it chose a lantern. It still haunts me to this day. James shudders as the memory unfolds. James turns his attention back to the group of wide eyed children who oohed and awed at every mention of the fancy lamps. As James gets ready to continue his story, he hears his name called. Um, James, I don't think that was your first run in with fancy lamps. James looks up to see Justin, Rochelle, and Kobe standing at the back of the room. Justin, didn't you tell me he found them in a statue? Or was that Pandora's box? Rochelle looks quizzically at Justin, waiting for his answer. Actually, I believe it was another adventure where the first lamp showed up. Everyone's heads turned to see Dan, Gemma, Ellie, and Darcy sitting to the left of the children on the floor. James chuckles. Okay, I get it. The fancy lantern has haunted me for years. But let's just say, for story purposes, that we were given it by the Illuminati pet. Everyone claps their agreement and leans in slightly as James continues his story. Now, I know you were all wondering who this boy is, what his name might be. His name is James, of course, and this is the story of his favorite Christmas wish. Now, James was a quiet and shy boy, but was very kind. He enjoyed helping others and bringing joy wherever he went, but even so, he was lonely. Most of his friends were on holiday, so he didn't have anyone to talk to or play Christmas games with. Well, one day, as he was sitting in his room writing a song, he hears a soft whisper. James, you are such a kind boy who is always helping others. This Christmas, I would like to help you and grant you a single wish. James looks up in confusion. Um, is someone there? Not seeing anyone else in the room, he goes to the door to see if anyone is on the other side. Seeing no one and hearing nothing further, he brushes it off his mind. Going back to his bed, he sits down and looks at what he has written so far. Another soft whisper can be heard from his nightstand. James, please don't be startled. I have been watching you for a while now and only wish to help you. James stops what he is doing. Slowly turning his head towards the lamp sitting next to him, he replies, I must be tired. Or going crazy, because I could have sworn you just spoke to me. The lamp lets out a tinkling giggle. I did speak to you. I want to bring you the same kind of joy you have always brought others. James sits there staring at this talking lantern, mouth wide open. I, why would you want to do that? The lamp glows a little brighter, enveloping the entire room in a warm glow. James closes his eyes and lets the warmth of the light wash over him. Memories start to slowly pass through his mind. Times when he would help others, times he spent with his friends, pranks that were pulled, and the laughter that ensued. The stories he enjoyed telling. The memories keep passing by, and he slowly smiles at the happiness he is filled with. The lamp's glow slowly fades. These are just some of the reasons why I want to help you. James opens his eyes. I know exactly what I would like my wish to be. Wiping a small tear from his cheek, he gathers his thoughts. If I could have anything right now, it would be to have my friends here with me to celebrate Christmas with. The room is filled with a soft melodic tone as the lamp glows a soft green color. James closes his eyes yet again, listening to the sound of the lantern. You can open your eyes now, James. He opens his eyes and finds he is in another room filled with a beautiful Christmas tree that is decorated to perfection. Presents are scattered under the bottom branches, and just behind the tree he can see familiar faces peeking out. Surprise! Everyone jumps out from behind the tree, smiles on their faces. Kopi, Ellie, and Darcy dart around the room chasing each other. James smiles and claps his hands as he shouts, Group hug, everyone! Justin, Rochelle, Dan, and Gemma rush over as they all gather for a huge group hug. I am so glad to see you all. Oh, and you brought the girls too, I see. James reaches down to pet each of the girls. They all pounce on him, licking his face. He chuckles as he brings each in for an extra special snuggle. How did you all get here? I thought you were on holiday. James looks around the room at each of his friends. Well, we're not sure how we got here, but we had all made a wish that we could be together, at least for one day. Then we were all here, Gemma replied. They all gathered around the tree, opening presents and singing Christmas carols. Laughter filled the room with warmth, love, and joy. In the corner, on a small table, sits the lantern. James pauses for a moment, looking at the lantern. It doesn't look any different, nor has it said anything this entire time. I wonder. He walks over to the table, leaning down slightly and whispering to the lantern. Thank you for everything. I will never forget this day. He walks back to his friends, sits down and joins back in the fun and games. James slowly closes the book and looks around at the room with all the smiling faces staring back at him. He looks to each of his friends, a smile on his face. The room bursts into an uproar of applause and laughter. Can you read us the story again? Please? Oh, please? Each of the children clamor closer, bright-eyed and anxious for more. All right, just one more time. And thus ends this story for now.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.